Mechanics don't want you to know this, because these simple tricks could save you thousands of dollars and prevent costly repairs they profit from. But here's the real shocker. Ignoring some of these tips could leave you stranded or even wreck your engine. From secret clutch adjustments to hacks that improve fuel efficiency, these 15 maintenance tips will save you money and keep your bike in peak condition. Let's dive in. Ever feel like your bike isn't as smooth as it used to be? It might just be your chain begging for attention. A dirty or dry chain creates unnecessary friction, wears down your sprockets, and even affects fuel efficiency. The fix? Lube it every 300 to 500 miles and clean it regularly with a chain brush and a good degreaser. Oh, and don't overdo the lube. Too much and it attracts dirt like a magnet. A well-maintained chain isn't just about performance, it saves you from costly replacements down the road. But speaking of saving money, did you know you can avoid unnecessary oil changes if you check this one thing first? But for knowing that you must first subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon for more interesting and crazy updates like these. Oil changes are essential, but some mechanics love to make you do them more often than needed. Instead of blindly following a generic schedule, check your oil's color and consistency. If it's still golden brown and smooth, you can hold off a bit longer. Dark, sludgy oil? Time to swap it out. Another trick? If your engine sounds a little rougher than usual, that's often a sign that fresh oil is needed. This one simple habit can save you hundreds of dollars every year while keeping your engine in top shape. Now, oil is important, but what about your tires? Most riders ignore this until it's too late. Low tire pressure isn't just bad for handling, it's also draining your gas tank. Underinflated tires create more resistance, making your engine work harder. The result? Poor fuel efficiency and faster tire wear. Get yourself a cheap tire pressure gauge and check it every couple of weeks. Your bike's manual will tell you the perfect PSI for your tires. Keeping them properly inflated doesn't just improve mileage, it prevents uneven wear and keeps you safer on the road. And while we're on the subject of tires, let's talk about something that could save your life. You wouldn't ride on ice, so why ride on bald tires? Your tread is what keeps you connected to the road, especially in wet conditions. An easy trick? Stick a penny into the tread. If you can see the top of Lincoln's head, it's time for new tires. Also, feel your tires. If you notice uneven wear, it could mean you need an alignment or suspension adjustment. Ignoring worn-out tires can lead to nasty slips and slides, and no one wants that. Speaking of things riders ignore, let's talk about that battery sitting under your seat. A dead battery at the worst moment? Been there, done that. Most batteries last 2 to 5 years, but only if you take care of them. If your bike sits for weeks without being ridden, use a trickle charger to keep it alive. Also, clean the terminals and make sure they're tight. Loose or corroded connections can mess with your bike's electrical system. A little maintenance here means no push starting your bike in the middle of nowhere. But while we're talking about electrical stuff, here's a sneaky trick that can make your lights last longer. Still using those old school halogen bulbs? It's time for an upgrade. LED lights are brighter, use less power, and last way longer. They also improve visibility at night, keeping you safer. Some mechanics won't mention this because they'd rather sell you replacement bulbs every few months, but once you switch to LEDs, you'll forget what a blown headlight even looks like. Now, while LEDs help with visibility, there's something even more important when it comes to seeing clearly. Your helmet visor and mirrors are your lifelines, and yet they get dirty fast. A simple trick? Use a microfiber cloth and a mix of water with a drop of dish soap. Avoid using harsh chemicals. They can damage anti-fog coatings. For fogging issues, apply a thin layer of shaving cream or an anti-fog spray and wipe it off gently. Clear vision means safer rides, especially in low-light conditions. Speaking of visibility, your brakes are just as important. Let's make sure they're not failing you when you need them most. Your brakes are the difference between stopping safely and skidding into disaster. Don't wait until you hear that nasty metal-on-metal sound. Check your brake pads regularly. If they're less than 3 millimeters thick, it's time for a change. Also, listen for squeaking or grinding. These are signs your pads are wearing down unevenly. Replacing them early costs way less than repairing a full braking system. And while we're talking about stopping power, let's not forget about brake fluid. And to subscribe to our channel too. Brake fluid absorbs moisture over time, which can make your brakes feel spongy and less effective. Every 1 to 2 years, swap it out for fresh fluid. Check the color. It should be clear or slightly yellow. If it's dark, it's overdue for a change. Trust me, well-maintained brakes can save your life in an emergency. Speaking of fluids, there's another one that's often overlooked. Most people think motorcycles don't overheat, but guess what? They do, especially if your coolant is old or low. Check your coolant levels regularly and flush it every 2 years to prevent buildup. If your bike starts running hotter than usual, don't ignore it. Overheating leads to expensive engine damage, and no one wants that repair bill. But there's another trick to keeping your engine running cool. Some mechanics will tell you to always use premium gas, but here's the truth. Your bike's manual knows best. Many motorcycles are designed for regular fuel, and using premium won't magically make them faster. In fact, using the wrong fuel can actually hurt performance and mileage. Save your money and use what your manufacturer recommends. Now, even if you have the right fuel, it's no use if your air filter is filled with dust, so moving on we have. Think of your bike's air filter like your lungs. If it's clogged, your engine can't breathe properly. A dirty air filter reduces horsepower, kills fuel efficiency, and even makes your engine work harder. Checking and cleaning it is easy. Just remove it, tap out the dust, or use compressed air to blow away debris. If it's beyond saving, swap it out for a new one, they're cheap. Most riders don't realize that replacing or cleaning their air filter can instantly improve throttle response. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Performance air filters, like K and N, allow more airflow, giving your bike a small power boost. Mechanics won't always suggest this because they'd rather you keep coming back with performance issues. A clean air filter is like letting your engine breathe fresh mountain air, smooth, powerful, and fuel efficient. And speaking of smoothness, let's talk about that squeaky suspension. Ever notice your ride getting rougher or hear weird squeaking sounds? That's your suspension crying for help. Your forks and shocks need occasional love to keep them absorbing bumps and keeping your ride stable. A little silicone spray or fork oil on the seals can prolong the life of your suspension and stop annoying noises. Over time, suspension oil breaks down, leading to less dampening and a bouncier ride. Most riders forget to check this, and mechanics won't remind you because suspension repairs equals big money. But changing your fork oil every 10,000 to 15,000 miles keeps your suspension smooth and responsive. Think of it like this. Your bike's suspension is its backbone, and proper lubrication keeps it young. If you're serious about comfort and handling, don't skip this. And speaking of things that keep your ride stable, let's talk about your clutch. Ever feel like your clutch is too loose, too tight, or just not engaging smoothly? That's because it wears down over time, and mechanics love when you ignore it. It means clutch replacements for them. The fix is simple. Adjust the clutch cable slack to ensure a smooth pull and proper engagement. If your clutch engages too soon or too late, you could be losing acceleration, burning excess fuel, or even wearing it out faster. Most bikes have an adjustment dial on the clutch lever. Just tweak it to your preferred tension. And if the cable feels sticky, a few drops of cable lubricant will make it buttery smooth again. A properly adjusted clutch gives you precise control over your power, making shifting feel seamless. Speaking of seamless, let's move on to something that keeps your bike looking fresh: your paint job. Your bike's paint job isn't just about looking good, it's also about protecting the metal underneath. Rain, dirt, and even the sun's UV rays can slowly eat away at your bike's finish, leading to rust and fading. The solution? Give it a good wax job every few months. It adds a protective layer that repels water, dirt, and grime, while making your bike shine like it just rolled out of the showroom. A simple spray wax or automotive wax does the trick. Also, avoid using dish soap to wash your bike. It strips away protective coatings. Instead, use a pH-balanced motorcycle shampoo. If you want to go the extra mile, ceramic coatings offer long-term protection against scratches and UV damage. Remember, your bike's paint isn't just cosmetic, it's a shield. Treat it well and it'll keep turning heads for years. And with that, you're now armed with 15 game-changing maintenance tips. Keep your bike running like a dream and ride on. And that's a wrap also. Comment down below if we missed out on any other maintenance tips, and make sure to watch our previous video about 12 stupid motorcycle myths bikers still believe. Also, subscribe to our channel because trust me, you don't want to miss this one.